Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Treat differently on the basis of sex or race. Act as a barrier between. Stand between. Have the connection undone, having become separate. Arrange or order by classes or categories. Become separated into pieces or fragments. Separate into parts or portions. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. The couple separated after 25 years of marriage. Force, take, or pull apart. He separated the fighting children. Divide into two or more branches so as to form a fork. Make a division or separation. Go one's own way. Move apart. The friends separated after the party. Standing apart. Not attached to or supported by anything. A house with a separate garage. Mark as different. Come apart. The two pieces that we had glued separated. A separately printed article that originally appeared in a larger publication. A garment that can be purchased separately and worn in combinations with other garments. Divide into components or constituents. Independent, not united or joint. A problem consisting of two separate issues. Separated according to race, sex, class, or religion. Separate but equal. Treat differently on the basis of sex or race. Recognize or perceive the difference. Distinguish. I could not discriminate the different tastes in this complicated dish. Marked by the ability to see or make fine distinctions. Discriminate judgments. Treat differently on the basis of sex or race. Select from a group. Perform a division. Can you divide 49 by 7? Act as a barrier between. Stand between. The mountain range divides the two countries. Separate into parts or portions. Divide the cake into 3 equal parts. Force, take, or pull apart. A ridge of land that separates two adjacent river systems. Make a division or separation. Come apart. A serious disagreement between two groups of people, typically producing tension or hostility. Have the connection undone, having become separate. Keep company with, hang out with. Arrange or order by classes or categories. A body of students who graduate together. The class of 97. People having the same social, economic, or educational status. The working class. Arrange or order by classes or categories. How would you classify these pottery shards? Are they prehistoric? Education imparted in a series of lessons or meetings. Flirting is not unknown in college classes. A body of students who are taught together. Early morning classes are always sleepy. A collection of things sharing a common attribute. There are two classes of detergents. A league ranked by quality. He played baseball in Class D for 2 years. Biology. A taxonomic group containing one or more orders. elegance in dress or behavior. She has a lot of class. Arrange or order by classes or categories. How would you classify these pottery shards? Are they prehistoric? Assign to a class or kind. Declare unavailable, as for security reasons. An operation that segregates items into groups according to a specified criterion. The bottleneck in mail delivery is the process of sorting. Arrange or order by classes or categories. Examine in order to test suitability. A category of things distinguished by some common characteristic or quality. An approximate definition or example. She wore a sort of magenta dress. A person of a particular character or nature. What sort of person is he? Make free from confusion or ambiguity. Make clear. Arrange or order by classes or categories. Punish in order to gain control or enforce obedience. Tennis. A score consisting of winning a game when your opponent was serving. He was up 2 breaks in the second set. Breaking of hard tissue such as bone. The break seems to have been caused by a fall. Enter someone's virtual or real property in an unauthorized manner, usually with the intent to steal or commit a violent act. Be released or become known of news. Fail to agree with, be in violation of, as of rules or patterns. An act of delaying or interrupting the continuity. It was presented without commercial breaks. Lessen in force or effect. Break a fall. An escape from jail. The breakout was carefully planned. Interrupt a continued activity. Force out or release suddenly and often violently something pent up. Break into tears. Any frame in which a bowler fails to make a strike or spare. The break in the 8th frame cost him the match. Go to pieces. Ruin completely. Act in disregard of laws, rules, contracts, or promises. Break a law. Become fractured. Break or crack on the surface only. Do a break dance. Kids were break dancing at the street corner. Prevent completion. Break off the negotiations. Become separated into pieces or fragments. Make known to the public information that was previously known only to a few people or that was meant to be kept a secret. Terminate. Break a lucky streak. Surpass in excellence. Break a record. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. The act of breaking something. The breakage was unavoidable. Happen. Break down, literally or metaphorically. A pause from doing something, as work. We took a 10-minute break. Stop operating or functioning. Fracture a bone of. Reduce to bankruptcy. My daughter's fancy wedding is going to break me. Assign to a lower position. Reduce in rank. Geology. A crack in the Earth's crust resulting from the displacement of one side with respect to the other. Break a piece from a whole. Break a branch from a tree. make submissive, obedient, or useful. The horse was tough to break. A time interval during which there is a temporary cessation of something. Move away or escape suddenly. Nobody can break out, this prison is high security. A personal or social separation, as between opposing factions. They hoped to avoid a break in relations. Some abrupt occurrence that interrupts an ongoing activity. There was a break in the action when a player was hurt. Destroy the completeness of a set of related items. The book dealer would not break the set. Cease an action temporarily. Let's break for lunch. An unexpected piece of good luck. He finally got his big break. An abrupt change in the tone or register of the voice, as at puberty or due to emotion. Then there was a break in her voice. A sudden dash. He made a break for the open door. Be broken in. If the new teacher won't break, we'll add some stress. Become punctured or penetrated. Cause the failure or ruin of. This play will either make or break the playwright. Cause to give up a habit. Change directions suddenly. Change suddenly from one tone quality or register to another. Come forth or begin from a state of latency. Come into being. Come to an end. Crack. Of the male voice in puberty. His voice is breaking, he should no longer sing in the choir. Curl over and fall apart in surf or foam, of waves. Destroy the integrity of, usually by force, cause to separate into pieces or fragments. Diminish or discontinue abruptly. Emerge from the surface of a body of water. Exchange for smaller units of money. I had to break a $100 bill just to buy the candy. Fall sharply. Find a flaw in. Break an alibi. Find the solution or key to. Break the code. Give up. Break cigarette smoking. Happen or take place. Things have been breaking pretty well for us in the past few months. Interrupt the flow of current in. Break a circuit. Invalidate by judicial action. Make a rupture in the ranks of the enemy or one's own by quitting or fleeing. Make the opening shot that scatters the balls. Pierce or penetrate. Render inoperable or ineffective. Scatter or part. Separate from a clinch, in boxing. The occurrence of breaking. The break in the dam threatened the valley. The opening shot that scatters the balls in billiards or pool. Undergo breaking. Vary or interrupt a uniformity or continuity. Weaken or destroy in spirit or body. Become separated into pieces or fragments. Go to pieces. Become separated into pieces or fragments. Lose one's emotional or mental composure. Break or fall apart into fragments. Become separated into pieces or fragments. Separate into parts or portions. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. My friend and I split up. Get a divorce. Formally terminate a marriage. An increase in the number of outstanding shares of a corporation without changing the shareholders' equity. Separate into parts or portions. Separate into parts or portions. Having been divided. Having the unity destroyed. A split group. Separate into parts or portions. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. My friend and I split up. Separate or cut with a tool, such as a sharp instrument. An opening made forcibly as by pulling apart. An increase in the number of outstanding shares of a corporation without changing the shareholders' equity. They announced a 2-for-1 split of the common stock. The act of rending or ripping or splitting something. Division of a group into opposing factions. Go one's own way. Move apart. Come open suddenly and violently, as if from internal pressure. A bottle containing half the usual amount. A dessert of sliced fruit and ice cream covered with whipped cream and cherries and nuts. A lengthwise crack in wood. He inserted the wedge into a split in the log. An old Croatian city on the Adriatic Sea. A promised or claimed share of loot or money. He demanded his split before they disbanded. Especially of wood, cut or ripped longitudinally with the grain. We bought split logs for the fireplace. Extending the legs at right angles to the trunk, one in front and the other in back. 10-pin bowling. A divided formation of pins left standing after the first bowl. He was winning until he got a split in the 10th frame. Separate substances into constituent elements or parts. Make a break in. Laugh unrestrainedly. Suffer a nervous breakdown. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. To cause to separate and go in different directions. Cause to go into a solution. Close at the end of a session. Take apart into its constituent pieces. Break or cause to break into pieces. Bring the association of to an end or cause to break up. Break violently or noisily. Smash. Come to an end. Cause to separate. Break up kidney stones. Release ice. Set or keep apart. Attack with or as if with a pickaxe of ice or rocky ground, for example. Destroy the completeness of a set of related items. Come apart. The effort contributed by a person in bringing about a result. The actions and activities assigned to or required or expected of a person or group. The government must do its part. To some extent, in some degree, not wholly. I felt partly to blame. Assets belonging to or due to or contributed by an individual person or group. A portion of a natural object. They analyzed the river into 3 parts. Something less than the whole of a human artifact. The rear part of the house. One of the portions into which something is regarded as divided and which together constitute a whole. The written part of the exam. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. The business partners broke over a tax question. The melody carried by a particular voice or instrument in polyphonic music. He tried to sing the tenor part. Force, take, or pull apart. Moses parted the Red Sea. An item that is an instance of some type. My dog swallowed a Lego part. A line of scalp that can be seen when sections of hair are combed in opposite directions. His part was right in the middle. Leave. The extended spatial location of something. Religions in all parts of the world. Go one's own way. Move apart. The friends separated after the party. Something determined in relation to something that includes it. He wanted to feel a part of something bigger than himself. An actor's portrayal of someone in a play. She played the part of Desdemona. Come apart. That which concerns a person with regard to a particular role or situation. It requires vigilance on our part. Part. Cease or break association with. Force, take, or pull apart. A part of a forked or branching shape. He broke off one of the branches. Any projection that is thought to resemble a human arm. A branch of the sewer. Grow and send out branches or branch-like structures. A natural consequence of development. Divide into two or more branches so as to form a fork. A division of some larger or more complex organization. A branch of Congress. A division of a stem, or secondary stem arising from the main stem of a plant. A stream or river connected to a larger one. The region of the angle formed by the junction of two branches. They took the South Fork. Lift with a pitchfork. Pitchfork hay. Divide into two or more branches so as to form a fork. The road forks. The angle formed by the inner sides of the legs where they join the human trunk. The act of branching out or dividing into branches. An agricultural tool used for lifting or digging. Has a handle and metal prongs. Cutlery used for serving and eating food. Place under attack with one's own pieces, of two enemy pieces. Shape like a fork. She forked her fingers. Divide into two or more branches so as to form a fork. Grow and send out branches or branch-like structures. These plants ramify early and get to be very large. Divide into two or more branches so as to form a fork. Have or develop complicating consequences. These actions will ramify. Standing apart. Not attached to or supported by anything. A freestanding bell tower. Evolve so as to lead to a new species or develop in a way most suited to the environment. Mark as different. Be a distinctive feature, attribute, or trait, sometimes in a very positive sense. Become different during development. Cells differentiate. Become distinct and acquire a different character. Calculate a derivative. Take the derivative. Identify as in botany or biology, for example. Detect with the senses. Mark as different. We distinguish several kinds of maple. Be a distinctive feature, attribute, or trait, sometimes in a very positive sense. His modesty distinguishes him from his peers. Make conspicuous or noteworthy. Mark as different. Mark as different. Mark as different. Distinguish or separate. Mark as different. Distinguish or separate.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.